Can music bring a family together? With a deadbeat dad, a venomous mom, and a criminal son, music has a tough row to hoe in John Carney's newest, Flora and Son. Single mother Flora tries to find temporary happiness late at night at the Dublin clubs, but each morning, despite her hangover, she's responsible for her 14-year-old son, Max. Even though his musician dad is little support as a father, Max shares his love for music. So, in an attempt to bond, Flora fixes an old guitar as a gift for Max. When he refuses it, Flora decides out of spite she'll learn how to play. Online, she takes guitar lessons from Jeff all the way over in Los Angeles, and he may impact their family more than anyone expects. When I heard about Flora and Son, I was immediately excited because of writer-director John Carney, whose Sing Street was one of my favorite films of 2016, and whose 2008's Once is a borderline masterpiece turned successful Broadway musical. Immediately, I noticed a different tone with this film from its predecessors. There's a nastiness without hesitation jumping off the screen in Flora and Son. Yes, there are familial struggles and language in those other films. I think the language is largely in part with the culture of Dublin, but the family struggles felt civil in those films, though very evident. These characters really feel like they hate each other, and I kinda didn't want to spend time watching them. But when Flora begins her guitar lessons with Jeff, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, the dynamics begin to change. The family's hatred for each other is pushed aside as Flora and Jeff get to know each other, but even these exchanges feel false. Jeff doesn't feel like a real person, and though the filmmakers try to make their online relationship feel more intimate by bringing Jeff out of the screen into Flora's environment, it still never rang true for me. I'm not sure if it's Joseph Gordon-Levitt's performance with his constantly furrowed brow, or if it's the writing that causes Jeff to come across as a bit self-important and vain. And so, I find myself disliking all of these characters, although Eve Hewsom's portrayal of Flora does slowly win me over. Where Flora and Son does work is when the characters have bonding moments from music. Flora helps Jeff tweak one of his average songs, and together they're able to make something special. My favorite song in the movie, Meet Me in the Middle. But even this sweet ballad has some nasty language, so be ready for that. There's a cute moment where Flora hears Max's music for the first time, and they, for the first time, have a bonding moment. Perhaps the best scene in the movie is when Flora makes a music video with an obviously reluctant Max. It's sweet and funny, the song's pretty catchy, and I believe their relationship really experiences some healing. As the story continues, we do see Flora begin to sacrifice for her son, and I love those moments. However, their hatred for each other at the beginning was so vitriol, it's hard for me to make the emotional switch as quick and easy as the movie hopes. Overall, this film has some really good moments, but they're too few and far between. There are a couple cute music tracks, but nothing in comparison to his earlier films. Flora and Son certainly isn't a bad film, but it's probably my least favorite from John Carney so far. So if you're a fan of his, you may be disappointed, and if you aren't familiar with him, don't let this deter you from watching his earlier films.